What's up everybody, this is Scott from Team 512 and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be replacing my OEM style 3/4 length side skirts on my 2017 Corvette Grand Sport with these full length Z06 style side skirts from ACS Composite. And you guys know ACS Composite makes high quality parts for the C7 and the C8 Corvette and a few other GM vehicles as well. And these full-length side skirts from ACS Composite make a great mod for you C7 Corvette owners because they fit the Stingray all the way up to the ZR1. The first thing we're going to do is get this over on the bench and talk a little bit about the features of the ACS Z06 style side skirt. Then we're going to show you how to remove your existing side skirts, and then finally we're going to install the ACS Composite Z06 style side skirts. All this and more happening right now in the Team 512 garage. All right, you guys, we are over at the workbench, but before we take a closer look at these side skirts from ACS Composite, let me answer the question, why do I need side skirts on my car? Well, there's three primary reasons. Number one, there are some aerodynamic benefits from having side skirts on your car. They do create more downforce. Number two, they protect the painted surfaces on your car from rocks and road debris. And number three, well, they just look cool. And guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but ACS Composite is a fully validated OEM manufacturer that got their start creating parts for the Ford GT. Pretty cool stuff. Now let's take a closer look at these side skirts. All right, you guys, here's everything that comes in the box with your ACS Composite Z06 side skirts. Now, of course, you get both of them. I'm only showing you one here on the workbench. You also get this nice piece of marketing collateral, and if you flip it over, obviously you'll see some more of the parts that ACS produces for your Corvette. You get a nice detailed instruction manual and a bag of rivets. Now let's talk a little bit about how the ACS Composite Z06 style side skirts are different from the OEM and many other manufacturers. So the biggest thing you'll notice here is the width of the tray. Now this tray extends underneath the car and protects more of the paint than the OEM and other manufacturers. They also have the cutouts here for the jacking pucks, and all of these holes will line up perfectly. So let's stop talking about them. Let's get the old ones off and these new ones on. All right guys, before we get started, let's talk about some of the tools you're gonna need to get this job done. So let's start off with a drill and an assortment of drill bits, a driver or ratchet, a 7mm socket. Of course, you're gonna need a rivet tool to install those rivets, a hammer, and either a flathead screwdriver or this metal trim tool to remove the old side skirts, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And of course, you're also going to need some clean towels and your favorite cleaner, detailer, or isopropyl alcohol mix. All right, let's get started on taking off these old side skirts. All right, you guys, as you can see, there are a series of rivets running the length of the existing side skirts that we're going to have to remove in order to get this side skirt off. There's three main methods of removing a rivet. Number one is you can take a drill bit and drill the head off of the rivet, but what I don't want to do is risk over drilling and penetrating further than I need to, or damaging the rocker panel underneath or the side skirt itself, because there's still some value in this side skirt itself. The second method is to use a grinder and grind the head off of the rivet. But again, I don't want to damage the side skirt underneath. And the third method is to use a chisel or a screwdriver or a tool very similar to this to get underneath the head of the rivet and pop the head off. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I want to caution everybody, if you're going to use a screwdriver for this job, make sure you are going at a very, very, very steep angle. Otherwise, you're going to puncture right through the rocker panel behind the head of the rivet, and you don't want to do more damage to the rocker panel because we're going to have to drill more holes anyway. So just be careful when removing that. That's why I like to use this forked tool here. It's a kind of a metal interior trim tool, and you can almost push it with your hand and get underneath the head. See that, guys? So what I'm going to do is give a couple whacks here with the hammer. And there you go. The head of the rivet is gone, and we'll do the same all the way down the side skirt. Now check it out, you guys. This rivet actually came all the way out without breaking the shank off. All right, you guys, we have come to the final rivet here at the rear of the side skirt, and we are all set to remove it. And there we go. So the last step in removing the old side skirt is to take out this 7mm screw. And there we go. All right, so I know what you guys are thinking. Aren't all of those old shanks from the rivets now caught up inside of this rocker panel here? And you'd be right. But so is years of road debris and small pebbles and pieces of asphalt. And they find their way in and they find their way out. Now, if you want to try and remove those old shanks from the rivets, you can take off the back tire, remove the inner fender liner here, and maybe blow some compressed air down into this rocker panel and blow out those rivet shanks. But a lot of other debris and rocks are going to come with it. So for now, I'm just going to leave them in there and, you know, kind of let nature take its course. All right, you guys, let's compare both of these side skirts before we get this one on the car. And in terms of protection, I think you can see right away that the ACS Composite is the clear winner. It's about a foot longer, and look how much deeper it is than the stock OEM unit. So for me, it's a no-brainer. So the next step is to take your favorite cleaner and make sure the car is nice and clean. I am using CarPro Echo. It's my favorite rinseless wash. And pay close attention to underneath the car, because remember, those side skirts are going to extend quite a bit underneath your C7. All right, next step is to remove these two 7mm screws. And we have two more in the back of the car. So one thing you might need to do, depending on your car, is drill out these alternate holes here in the front of the side skirt. And I'm gonna have to do that with my Grand Sport. And I'm using a 17/64 drill bit. Now with the rocker panel prepped and ready to go, it's time to move the new side skirt into place. All right, you guys, we are now at the rear of the car. I have the side skirt in place and lined up nicely with the edge of the wheel well here, and I'm holding it in place with this A-clamp. Now it's time to return these two screws back to their home. And we just returned the three front screws back to their home too. Now it's time to start drilling out for the rivets and inserting the rivets themselves. So let's get started doing that. All right, guys, it's important to note that the kit comes with two different size rivets. Now, the longer rivet goes closer to the outside on the angle part of the rocker panel, and I'll show you that in a second. And of course, the shorter ones go on the perpendicular panel that lays flat up against the underneath of your car. Now, you're gonna need a 3/16 inch drill bit on your drill, and mark back about 1/4 inch, because you don't want to over drill these holes, because there are actually some lines inside of the rocker panel that you don't want to penetrate. So let's get started. All right, you guys, here is the first hole we're going to drill out in the rocker panel in order to attach the side skirt using a rivet. Now, you want to hold the side skirt flush tight against the car, as tight as you can, before you start drilling. And it goes very fast, you guys, so you don't want to apply too much pressure on the drill. All right, we're going to go ahead and load our long rivet into the rivet tool, push all the way through into the rocker panel and give it a few squeezes. And there we go. It's that easy. The rocker panel is in place. Now I'm going to show you how to put the smaller rivets in on the underside here. All right, so here is the hole on the underside of the side skirt where we're going to use the shorter rivet. And notice that just behind the actual rocker panel body piece on the car is the floor of the car. So you don't want to drill through the floor of the car, you just want to get through this piece right under here. So you could stick a thin piece of metal up in there to prevent the drill going too deep, or you can just be very careful. So we're going to do the very careful method. And that was it. Very quick, very easy. All right, we're going to load up our small rivet. I'm going to pull down on the body panel piece a little bit here, and then of course we're going to squeeze a few times. And these smaller rivets are much more challenging than the longer ones. So you really gotta squeeze to get it in. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the process all the way down the side skirt until we're all finished. Then I'm gonna get it off the lift and show you the final product. Did you guys really think I was gonna forget the red stripe? I'm gonna finish this up, get the car on the ground, and show you guys what these things look like. All right, you guys, that does it for another video. Thanks for tuning in, and a huge shout out to Jonathan and the rest of the folks at ACS Composite for sponsoring this video. You know, they make high quality products that not only look great, but they function as well by protecting your car. Now, I have a few other install videos on my channel of ACS Composite products, like the front XL rock guards, the rear fascia extensions, and the rear diffuser fins. And I'll link those down in the description, and make sure you check those out as well. So guys, there's so much great automotive content on YouTube, and so anytime you spend on my channel is greatly appreciated. And if you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there, and don't forget to smash the like button and leave me some comments. You guys know I love interacting with people who love cars and Corvettes just as much as I do. Till next time, see ya.